regarding anything that you're going through with your teenager, your difficult teenager or your struggling teenager. I have one question to ask you. Regarding anything that you're going through with your teenager, your difficult teenager or your struggling teenager, I have one question to ask you. Will it matter when you will be 75? Why am I asking you that? Because many things won't matter. The dishes that is in the sink that they didn't do before you came back from work, their room that is a total mess, maybe playing a little bit too much video game if it's not out of control, it won't matter. Now, for other things that will matter, like the crowd they associate themselves with, or the fact that they are ditching school and they are not investing in school, the next question I would ask myself is the threat the negative outcome? Usually, the catastrophic scenario that we can imagine in our head, like if they don't work well at school, they're going to end up working at McDonald's. That was my generation's fear. Is it 100% true? Does it have to be that way? And for you to help yourself, to convince yourself that it's not 100% true, it's not a truth, it is a belief. I would go online and look for people who didn't finish high school and are extremely successful, people who didn't go to college and are extremely successful. And I'm going to take a sip of water because my throat is itchy. Sorry. And once you have found those examples, it will help you get more convinced that there may be a positive outcome in all that. And the next step would be visualize a positive outcome. Take those examples to mind and visualize your kid being successful. And be flexible. Just see them successful. It doesn't matter where, why, how successful. Of course, you have to know also what your notion of success for them is, but that's for another time. Now, if there is no real threat, and the question is like, it won't matter when you're going to be 75-year old, then why are you even entertaining that idea? It's a waste of your energy, it's a waste of your time, and it can be felt by your teenager. So you might want to ditch that habit. That's just a habit of thought, of worrying unnecessarily. So what you can do when you catch yourself practicing that habit of unnecessarily worrying again, you can symbolically do like that and throw a paper in the trash in your mind. I remember hearing Wayne Dyer once saying that when people were sending him negative comments or emails about the leukemia he was dealing with, he imagined putting that if he got an email, he put it in the trash can on his computer, in the trash bin. And if he was facing someone, he imagined the same thing. He was doing the same thing with whatever it was that they were saying. And you can even hear the noise. I don't remember if on a PC you hear a noise, but on my Mac, when I throw a document in the trash, I can hear the noise of the paper being like crushed. I know it's not the right word, but I don't have the right word right now. I usually do Franglish on my videos. Now I'm doing blankish. I don't have the right word. If you know the word, please put it below for me so I can anchor it in my mind so that next time I don't go through that. So you hear that noise and it goes in the trash, the little trash can on my Mac. So you can do that in your mind when you start practicing this habit of unnecessarily worrying. Imagine yourself, and you can do that with your hand, doing like that, and hear the noise of throwing it in the trash. You've practiced that habit for years, probably. So it may take a little bit of time before you ditch it. And that's what we're trying to do here, ditching, because it's not useful. And that will actually prepare you, reflecting on that, for the next thing I have to share with you today. And since we're getting towards the end of the year and a lot of people are reflecting, I know I do, reflecting on the year past and seeing what would I like to change, even though it's not really a new resolution because I don't do that already for years and years and stopped doing that. And I do that process more than once a year. It's still an intention for change, an intention for living with more power, living happier, living better, etc. And let's say getting to the next empowered version of yourself, because I don't like the your best self. It's applying a judgment to who you are, but your next version. And it is to reflect for the past year on who you've been and what would be in your highest benefit, in your highest good to change. And for that, I have a process that I want to share with you, which is called the rocking chair exercise. And I talked at the beginning of the video, will it matter when you will be 75? But actually, with this rocking chair exercise, you're going to go even further down your life. You're going to be like 90, really, really old on your rocking chair. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to really go within. Imagine that you're there. It's toward the end of your life. And you reflect on what have you done that you loved? Who have you been that you loved being? And really feel it in your body. Feel that joy, that love, that gratitude. Say thank you even for all those beautiful things that you've created in your life. And the next thing is asking your heart, there, when you're 90, what do you regret? What do you regret not accomplishing? But most importantly, who do you regret not having been? And the answer to questions like that is, I'm going to take another sip of water. Somehow my throat is dry today. Is not having been a present parent, not having been, for me, what I'm working on is being lighter because I have a tendency to be very serious. I'm a double Capricorn, and as you know, Capricorns are very oriented towards work, towards serious things. So I want to become somebody who's lighter, who's kinder, who's not so serious all the time. So for you, what do you regret? Who do you regret really in your heart not having become? And once you will know, once you will have the answer from your heart, thank your heart and go about becoming that person. Go about what is so important to you at the end of your life. And there are not many, many things that are. One of mine also that I'm living, and I know I will be so happy about and so grateful for towards the end of my life, is having been proactively doing something to alleviate other people's suffering. That's something that is dear to my heart since I was a teenager, because I started coaching people in high school. Even though I was not a coach, even though I had no training, it's something that I had naturally an ability to listen and soothe people. And that brings me so much happiness. I believe it resonates with my soul. And that's what that process of being on your rocking chair is going to point you to. What does resonate with your soul? I recently listened to an interview from David Perlmutter on health, and he said something that really stood out for me. He said that, let me read it because I even wrote it, um, that it's an obligation. We are obligated to use our gifts, or the gift we have. We are obligated to use our gift to serve the world. And my version of it, when my kids were growing up, what I always told them is, it is an offense to God if you have a talent to not use it. I repeated that over and over to them. That's why now they're really conscious of what some of their talents are and the ones that they love expressing and using. They gear their career towards that. They used it. They use it in their career. And it can be, you can use it in another way. You can use it in a hobby. You can use it voluntarily, but use it. So that's what I'm going to close on. And I really wish you a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, which I forgot to mention something. If you're in my email list, that rocking chair process, I'm going to record the process to guide you so you can do it with my guidance, with my voice. And I will give it to you as a gift if you're in my newsletter. So if you're not, go at the bottom of the under this video. There is a link to my blog, and in my blog you can become a member of my newsletter. I don't know if member is the right word, but a receiver of my newsletter. You will get it, and that way you will get the gift. So now I'm done, and if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please put a thumb up. It helps reaching more people in the world, and that's one of my missions. Mwah! Have a wonderful holiday season.